Welcome to Erin's World Famous. I'm Erin, and on today's episode, we're going to be making pork katsu sandwiches. Here's the list of ingredients you'll need to make today's recipe. For the full recipe, please check out the description below. First, you're going to start off by making a coleslaw for your sandwich. I'm making an Asian style slaw, but it's still going to be creamy, so I'm using a little bit of mayo, a little bit of sugar, just to add some sweetness, some rice wine vinegar, and this is an optional ingredient, but I'm adding just a couple of drops of sesame oil. You don't want to add too much just because it is a very, very strong oil. Give it a good whisk until it's all incorporated. Once fully combined, you're going to add in some shredded slaw. You can shred the cabbage yourself. I decided to go an easy route and got store-bought. Give it a stir to combine. And then refrigerate while you prepare the rest of your meal. While your coleslaw is chilling, you're going to make your katsu sauce. Start with about 2/3 cup of ketchup, a couple of tablespoons of honey, I'm using about 1.5 tablespoons here, 4 tablespoons of oyster sauce, and 4 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. Stir until fully combined and then set aside while you prepare the rest of your meal. Now it's time to prepare your pork. I always like to use boneless pork chops. I find that the thicker ones are usually easier because then you can butterfly them to get a perfect square shape. However, this is all my grocery store had on hand, so you work with what you have. However, you want them to kind of be almost a square shape. If not, these are going to be thinner. I could probably fit 2 per sandwich rather than 1 large one. Now it's time to bread your pork chops. I set up a dredging station of all-purpose flour, which I've mixed in salt and pepper, whisked together a few eggs, and have panko breadcrumbs in here. You're going to start by completely coating your pork chops with the flour. Shake off any excess. Then dip it in the egg. You're going to want to try and keep one hand wet and one hand dry at all times. Just makes it easier. And then after dripping off the excess egg, put it in the panko breadcrumbs, lightly cover, give a firm press down. It kind of helps it stick a little better. And then sit aside and move on to the next one. Now that all of your pork chops are breaded, it's time to fry. I've heated up a little bit of oil, about 1/2 inch in a frying pan. And I heated it up to about 350 degrees. Lightly drop it in the oil, making sure to lay it in away from you so you don't get spattered with the hot oil. I like to put in just a couple at a time so that way it doesn't bring down the temperature of the oil too much. Once your pork chops have started to reach a light golden brown about halfway up, you're going to flip them over. Sometimes a spatula or sometimes tongs are easier. Look at the nice brown golden color. You want to allow these to continue to fry on the second side and until the internal temperature reaches a minimum of 145 degrees. Once it's reached an internal temperature of 145, mine's about 150 right now, you're going to remove it from the hot oil and allow to rest just for a few moments. While it's still hot, make sure to add a little bit of salt to the top. Once your pork is finished frying, now it's time to build your sandwiches. Traditionally, it's made with milk bread, but any type of white bread will do. You're going to want to cut off of the crust of all 4 sides. You can always use these bits of crust, dry them out in the oven and make breadcrumbs with it or something else. Once you've removed your crust, take a little spoonful of your coleslaw and put it on the bottom of your sandwich. Next, you're going to top it with one of the pork chops. And then you're going to take your katsu sauce and spoon some a little bit right on across the top. And then you'll top it with the other piece of bread. And there's your pork katsu sandwich. And here you have your pork katsu sandwich. If you've enjoyed today's recipe, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and comment on what you may like to see me cook next. But now it's time to eat. We'll see you next time.